Hey guys, Prules here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the AEK. And this gun took the stage in a recent patch where its performance with the foregrip was increased quite a bit, and it seems like the F2000 and FAMAS received similar buffs with the foregrip at the same time, but they were not affected nearly as much as the AEK was. A quick look at Synthic stats tells us that the gun generally performs like most other ARs. However, it is tied with the SCAR L for second slowest bullet velocity at 580 meters per second. At first I figured the AEK would be replacing the M16 mostly for just close quarter scenarios, but when I finally got in sync with the gun, I knew I was not going to be going back to the M16 this patch. It shares the same drop off, which with heavy barrels starts at 8 meters and ends at 75 meters, and the AEK has a rate of fire of 900 versus the M16's 800. And so once you get used to the AEK's pull, it really becomes easy to control, and that increased rate of fire will allow you to effectively put more rounds into a target in a shorter amount of time than the M16. And I'll be honest, I really hated the gun at first because it seemed the recoil was just so extreme versus the M16's, but if you keep at it enough, the AEK becomes the superior weapon in most scenarios. And one of the things I love about this gun the most right now is its ability to just dominate close quarters. So with or without the laser, this thing is consistently saving my ass over those using other ARs, carbines, PDWs, and in a lot of cases even shotguns. I'm usually pretty timid about hip firing with ARs. I find myself that even in really close quarters, I'll still sometimes aim down my sights when it still puts me at a pretty big disadvantage. But what I'm realizing is that with or without the laser, this thing just tears through people. So if you plan on playing the close quarters maps for a while, then this is probably the best gun to get good at, hands down. However, if you're like me and you like to mix it up with a little conquest and rush, which usually has some narrow passages for us to shoot down, the heavy barrel is absolutely the way to go. And as much as I would like to keep the laser on now that I've been trusting my hipfire more, keeping your damage at higher values for longer ranges is going to win you a lot of fights against people who aren't using the same weapon. The last thing I can think to mention is to try and be mindful of your ammo count with this gun. Although it has 31 rounds in the magazine like every other assault rifle, it does tend to burn quite fast, especially if there are a couple of guys in your field of view and you get a little carried away. So I'll be the first to admit that I missed the reload time of the M16 very much because it seems to get me out of really sketchy scenarios, but once you take into account the 3.7 second reload time from an empty mag, you will naturally start picking your shots more carefully. All in all, I think the AEK is indeed the king of the current patch, and if you want to stay competitive, it will be a good gun to understand. So hopefully the other ARs will reflect the same level of reliability in a future patch because they are generally not this well rounded. Anyways guys, I think that just about wraps up what I have for you today. Be sure to check out the AEK if you haven't already made it a part of your regular arsenal, especially if you're still hooked onto these new DLC maps and plan on playing them for a while longer. So take a second to thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.